Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. On this episode, the last episode that's going to cover the awesome, hint hint on what I think of the game, carrier game. We're now up to the point where the U.S. is able to retaliate. My strikes have been launched against this mystery carrier force that hit us with 7 points. I still don't know what's there exactly. My search planes have been up in the air for a while now, and they just can't seem to find anything, more information about it. I don't know if they're zigzagging out of clouds. They can see it, because I do have contact. I do have a located marker on it, but they just, they can't seem to figure out precisely what it is. But we are about to discover that here very, very shortly. Hopefully, so long as the contact rolls go well. More about that in a couple of seconds. So, since last episode, I've gone through the first couple of phases of the third turn, the 0900 turn, and found two Japanese forces turned out to be dummy units. There are a lot of transports headed towards Guadalcanal. Somebody got to be lying with that many transports. That's all there is to it. But I haven't managed to get the intelligence up enough to find out what it is. I did ascertain that C4 force that I found before, that was the small cruiser force, consists of 5 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and a destroyer. And it is currently moving towards the C10 force per the rules, because it's a surface force that's within 4 hexes of a carrier force. So they're on their way to join the Japanese carrier force over there that's in C10. Now, above all of this, I still have 2 units out of C here, C16 and C18, that have not been identified. A lot of other units you can see over here. There's a lot of surface units that are in the shallow water. They can't be carriers. But these guys still could be, and I just rolled a PBY-4 in this last phase, and I missed out on getting any intelligence on what that is up there. So, to quote the dude, that's a bummer, man. But I've got lots of planes in the air. I'm ready for this strike. I've got lots of planes searching. Everything is, if you look over here at my carrier decks, you can see the Lady Lex and the Saratoga are pretty empty of planes, because everybody and their mother is pretty much up in the sky right now from those. The Hornet still has quite a few planes, and I do have planes in the servicing that I've been holding back. I have a strike consisting of 6 Dauntless and 2 TBF Avenger points to strike, but I have not gotten around to launching them yet because I've been holding back, wondering what this carrier force actually is, and also what these other 2 forces are still to the north and northwest of me. So that makes me a little nervous, to be honest. I'm holding back on them, but I'm hoping to launch them sometime soon. Alright, so let's go ahead and get moving here, because as I said, I would come back whenever there was an airstrike step. So let me zoom in on the action, because you're actually going to get to see 2 of them. Because what happened was I launched 1 strike from the Hornet as soon as I knew that there was a carrier strike inbound on my boys on the Lexington and Saratoga. So I launched that one right away, and then I launched another one from the Lexington just as soon as I was able to get them serviced after we get the flight deck fixed after getting clobbered there. Okay. So now what we got to worry about here at this point is the contact chart. Okay, and the contact chart is basically based on how long your strike force has been aloft altogether, and then some modifiers too, which of course one of those modifiers, which is good for me, is this is a December 1942 scenario, so I'll get +1 to my contact roll, which is excellent. So let's take a look here. I have Airstrike 6, and let's drop them off to the side here a little bit. This here, this is a force that has been located, but no new intelligence was found. So my guys were able to track it, my search planes were able to track it, but they weren't able to tell me anything new about it. Okay, so my strike force here, Strike Force 6, has a time aloft marker right now of 4. So I haven't been up in the air all that long. Okay, and those are the guys that came from the Lady Lex. So they were able to get there sooner because they were 2 hexes closer to that. The Hornet strike is coming next. That's why the Lexington is actually getting there sooner, believe it or not. Okay, So let's see what kind of modifiers we have, and let's see what kind of die roll we are going to get here as we prepare to do battle with the IJN. All right. Okay, so first thing is the strike contact table. So time of loss marker, again, oops, I didn't mean to cover that up. I meant to leave that so you could see it, is a 4. Okay, that's good because the lower the better your chances. All right. +1 of targets inverted. It is. The C10 force has been located this turn. Let's see. Strike contains 9 or more steps. I think this one's only an 8 one here. That's all I put up. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I put up 8 on that with no fighters, by the way. That was a little dangerous, I know, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay, time period is October or later. So I will get +2 to this die roll. And the good news is, because we've been aloft so short a time, no matter what I'm about to roll here, I am going to find it. So, good thing we were so close. I rolled a 2. So 2 and 3 is 5. That gives me a big old C. And what's the C mean? Contact. The target's located. I found it. We are ready to roll, son. All right. Quote Dave Chappelle. All right. Now, this is only a level 1 carrier. So the next thing we got to do is find out what in the devil is actually here. So this is the time when we get to find out who's actually home. Okay. Here we go. So we're moving from level 1 to level 2. Let's see. Let's check the die roll modifiers. Carrier commitment within 5. Nope. Secondary objective, nope. Revealed air strength is a 7 so far, so there's going to be a -2 modifier. What does that mean? There's a better chance of them being big ones. That's what it means. So here we go. 9 minus 2 is 7. 2 to 3 CV is what I'm getting on level 2 intelligence. So 2 to 3 CV. Ooh. How many? 2 or 3. Well, it could also be something else, though, too. Just because it says 2 to 3 CV right now does not make it gospel. Okay? So now we got to go from level 2 to level 3. And then we'll have to generate the screen. So I rolled a 4 on the 2 to 3. Let's see. So a 3 is going to be 2 to 3 carriers. What? Holy crackers. See, this is why I said you can't count on anything necessarily being. It turns out, well, guess what? They're 2 CVLs. That's what it is. It's not even big aircraft carriers. Shoot. That means the big ones are still somewhere, probably to the north of me. Probably one of those 2 up there. Crackers. Alright. That's not good. So that's a 2 CVL force. So now, need to find the intelligence marker for a 2 CVL force. Here it is. And let me see exactly what the carrier commitment's about to go up by now. Shoot, 2 CVLs. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. Well, that's what it was. Yep, I rolled a 4. 2 to 3 carrier, level 2. Yep, 2 to 3 carrier, level 2. Takes me up to 2 CVL. Unbelievable. Alright. Yeah, okay, so I'm disappointed. Alright. So 2 CVL. Well, potentially, this isn't even over yet, so hold that thought. There could be something else. Oh, it could be even weaker than that. But let me check the carrier commitment bit here now. With the Japanese. So that's 9. So, let's see here now. Let's see, carrier commitment. Okay. Let's see, force no reveal, what I have revealed. Japanese increases, the index increases by the same amount. So I got to figure out exactly what the air strength is going to be here in a minute once I find the carriers. I got to find the carriers first. So hang on to that thought. Here we go. So now I got to roll level 3 to level 4 to find out exactly how many carriers are we talking about. Let's find out. Okay. And we're going to get +4 to this, because the carrier commitment is maxed out in this scenario. Whew. Okay, so this is level 3. Oh, well, guess what? Another surprise. So this was level 3, 2 CVL, remember? But now that I rolled the die that the carrier commitment is at 28 or more, which is a +4 modifier, I rolled a 9. So guess what just happened? Those 2 CVLs just turned into 3 aircraft carriers. I found the mother lode. So now we're going to draw and find out exactly which 3 of the big Japanese carriers did we just stumble into. See, that's one of the things I love about this game. Look how quickly that's shifted. It shifted to a moment of, oh, beep, because I thought, I only found CVLs, curses! But it turns out, doing the die rolls and stuff as we move up the chain to, oh, hey, it was 2 CVLs. Oh, we better double check and see, is it really 2 CVLs? And now all of a sudden, I get a message from one of my fly boys out there saying, Admiral, guess what? It's not CVLs. Mistake, that was a mistake. It is actually CVs. So let me see here. I got to line up all the Japanese CVs to put them in a cup and draw. So let me make sure I get everybody. Don't want no CVEs, no CVLs. As it turns out, it's not CVLs. And quite frankly, on that chart, that is the only way, if you get 11 or more on that die roll, is the only way to get CVs. There's no other way to get CVs there. Okay. So there are 6 potential CVs. So let's find out. What did I just stumble into here? I don't know. But we're going to find out in about 10 seconds. I can tell you that one right now. Okay, here we go. That's crazy. But again, that's part of the reason I love this game. So here we go. The 2 CVL turned out to be 3 CV with all the die roll modifiers. That's crazy. So I'll tell you what, let me zoom you back out. Or let me go down here. Yeah, I'll put the camera down here so you can see it as I see it. How's that? Here we go. Carrier number 1 that's been spotted is, there we go. What have we found? It is the Akagi. Woo! Carrier number 2 is the Suikaku. There we go, that's even better. There we go, there we go. There. The only problem is, well, I'll be able to see number 3 here in a minute. Let's come back just a bit. There we go. And carrier number 3 is the Hiryu. That's what that looks like to me. Yes, it is. It's the Hiryu. Alright, so hit the mother load. 3 big, juicy aircraft carriers, which is a little worrisome because that means they've got to be getting ready to launch another strike on yours truly. Let's see if we can catch them flat-footed before they have a chance to clobber us back, because this is about to turn ugly. Okay, so that will jump the air value here big time for all of this. Because on the carriers, yeah, the air value is the middle number. So that's going to jump the air value 2130. Holy smoke. Woo! So that air value, that was a 7 a little bit ago, is now 30. Good Lord. Wow. Okay, I've got a serious situation on my hand. Alright, so now the next thing I have to do, let's go back up to the map. The next thing I need to do, whoops, is now I need to generate their screen to see exactly what there is there. And of course, I'd also increase the carrier commitment level, but at this point I'm just going to focus on the strike, okay? And then, you know, you can look up the rules on the carrier commitment if you want later on. Okay. So I'm pretty sure with the Japanese, with the screen, when it comes to the screen, I'm pretty sure you roll in the medium. Carrier units, okay. Level 3. Here we go, Japanese screens. This is what I was looking for. Carrier force is increasing to level 2. To 3, use the level 2, level 3 table. So that was a 9. If we're going increasing to level 4. Alright. So that was a 9. Trying just to see what size it is. And I'm pretty sure it is... I'm still looking for it. I'm pretty sure that it's going to end up being... Let's see. So, I'm trying to read here and I'm not seeing the key word that I'm looking for. Representative second force, the carrier force of screen. Right. The screen chit increases intelligence process the same as the other force chits would do. Okay. So, to generate then, which force then am I starting out with here? Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. It should be a large surface one. I couldn't find the screen generation chart. I apologize. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so we're looking at large surface. So large surface with a die roll of 4. Large surface. That's large cruiser. So the large cruiser will turn out to be large cruiser. Large cruiser is not all that large. Well, no, actually, yeah. Okay, 5 cruisers and 2 destroyers is what we're looking for here. Okay, so 5 cruisers, 2 destroyers. All right. So there's the 2 destroyers I drew. Okay. And then I need the 5 cruisers, which let me pull them here and just randomly pick 5 cruisers. So 1, 2. Those are light cruisers. That's a light cruiser. That's a battleship. Doesn't do me any good. Okay, no luck there. There's 3. So 3, 4, and 5. And of course we're going to need that here to determine their air defenses here in just a moment. Okay. So now we'll go through the airstrike procedure pretty much the same way as we did when the Japanese attacked us. It's very similar. With only a few differences and a few steps here and stuff. Okay, so first thing we'll do is see if the U.S. manages to catch them by surprise. So there is a surprise table. So here we go. It's a 5. So no surprise, not a big surprise. That's too many surprises. Okay, not unusual. There we go. Is what I'm looking for. Cap strength. So the target Air Force value is 30 altogether. So 30 And now we'll check the cap. Oh, it's a 1. Interesting. Must not have had a chance to get a whole lot of planes, or they were a little confident. I'm not sure. So it will be a 3. So there's 3 on the Japanese cap strength table. And now we'll see what they're able to damage on my steps with the combat air patrols here. Let's see. We don't have any escorts, so that's going to be a +1. So that's not good. Okay. Oh, they rolled a 2. Well, guess what? Even at a cap strength of 3, it didn't matter. Huh. Well. In more words of James Brown. Alright, time for anti-aircraft. So remember, we can choose up to 8 altogether. Okay, so the Japanese, let's see what they got here. They've got 10, 18. That's 3 there is 18. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 18 and 6 is 24. And then 3 more, 24 and 6, that's 30. So 30 altogether. Because if you know anything, again, about this time period, the Japanese air defenses were not the best in the world. Okay? So let's see. I have 2, 4, 6. I got 8 steps attacking. So let's see what kind of modifier. It's going to be plus... No, actually it's going to be -1. 5 to 8 steps attacking. Alright. So let's see what happens. -1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Wow, a lot of low die rolls here for the Japanese. They didn't hit anything. Woo! We must have caught them by surprise. They must not have realized that maybe we were that close. I guess maybe they thought they did more damage than they did. Maybe their flyboys reported a rosier picture. I don't know. All I know is we've gotten through without any damage. That's about just insane. Okay, so let's see here now. Now, the number of steps I'll have here to go with. So the attack strength here for the U.S. is going to be 18 and 4 is 22. But when you have torpedo and dive bombers working together, you get an extra bonus to it for however many steps it is. So I'll get a ½ point per step of those ones that are participating. So basically that's an extra 1. So that will take me up to 23. So this time it doesn't do me any good. I managed to come out with 21, 2 attacks, no modifiers. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go after the... I'm going to go after the 2 that have the biggest air capacity. I'm going to go after the Akagi and the Zuikaku. So no modifier inherently from the chart. But let's see if there's anything on the die roll modifiers here. Let's see. US, no surprise. So, nope, no modifier. Straight up die roll. I need some 10s. Here we go. First one, 5. That's 2 points of damage on the Akagi. So the Akagi took 2 points of damage. And a 4. 1 point of damage on the other one. The Zuikaku. So 2 and 1. So not a whole lot of points of damage, unfortunately, on the 2 carriers there. But, I mean, it's a start. At least now I know that with my next strike, I really got to get a big one up in the air and figure out how to coordinate it to do so. And the other thing I got to worry about is they could already have planes in the air coming after me, and I may not even know about it yet. They haven't even been sighted. They haven't been picked up. So, yeah, so that's a bummer. That's not good. All right, well, I mean, given the size of the strike I launched, only 8 steps, that actually has worked out pretty well for me. So, all right, so let's check here and see with damage to the Japanese and the hits that will be on that. On their 2 carriers here that I was able to hit. Alright. Sorry, flipping through the book here. Trying to figure out. Alright, that's that, that's that. That's that. Okay. I'm not seeing... This is all about U.S. damage here. I must be in the wrong section. Yeah, this is all... This seems to be all about... This all seems to be about U.S. losses. So I'll have to take a look and find that here. Okay. Here we go. Damage to Japanese ships. Here we go. Alright, place the damage marker. I already did that. Okay. Reduces it. Hit capacity, it's sunk. I don't think we have to worry about that just yet. Alright, I'll note the damage on the long sheet. And that's going to be basically about it for right now. So the two damaged ones on that Japanese carrier, let's see. Their damage numbers, checking the index here. Well, actually the table of contents for the picture of the Japanese ships and their hit capacity. Okay, so hit capacity, actually, that first one on the Akagi's hit capacity is only 4. So we were able to damage it. The other one was only 1 out of 8. Whoo, that Sukaku is a lot tougher than the Akagi, but of course the Akagi's older, so that makes sense. Alright, so that's that airstrike there. Airstrike number 6, and I'll record the heavy damage and all that stuff there. Okay. Now, at this point, let me do a time check here. Yeah, at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this series of videos, because this gives you a good overview of how the game plays. You know, I basically did almost everything on camera, and I think the only thing you really didn't get a chance to see was like the U.S. air search. But the air search rules aren't that complicated. So, bottom line about this game, my thoughts on it are very simple. This is the best carrier warfare game I've ever played. I always enjoy playing it. I will admit I don't play it as often as I play some other games because it is so very involved. It is very much a slug match. This game has been a little unusual because I rarely have games where you come to grips with the enemy that fast. But like I said, I was a little aggressive this time. I threw my fleet out a little further maybe than I should have. So I got to get ready because I'm sure there's got to be air points coming my way from 3 aircraft carriers with only 7 and the air value's 30. Yeah. So the downside of this game is there is a little bit of calculation you have to do, and as you've noticed from the video, you have to consult the rulebook fairly often because there is a lot of information here. But in those moments that you're not looking for the rulebook and checking things out, it's very tense. I hope I've conveyed that to you because I very much feel like Admiral Korchnoi stuck out here in the South Pacific, being like, well, I mean, I hope you noticed the topsy-turvy nature of my swings. Again, like Texas poker, like No Limit Texas Hold'em. I swung so quick there when I thought, oh shoot, these are only CVLs. But then I go and check and see, oh, well, you know what? Okay, it's not CVLs. It's actually some aircraft carriers themselves. So, that was a big swing in between those things because of the carrier commitment limit. And again, I always put it way up there at 30 simply because I always like to play this on the premise that the Japanese did not do Midway. They focused on the South Pacific instead. So having that, of course, means you're going to run into big carriers. But that's part of the reason I play this game, is for the big carrier battles. And that's one of the thoughts I'll close here with is that, I think part of what fascinates me about these carrier battles is when you really look at it in World War II, there were only 5 true carrier-on-carrier battles that happened. You had the Coral Sea, Midway, Eastern Solomons, Santa Cruz, and basically the Philippine Sea, which is better known as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. That's it. And it's fascinating to me because between December of 1941, when Pearl Harbor happened and the Prince of Wales and the Repulse were sunk, if I remember correctly, by only 12 Japanese planes total, which is insane to think about, but I could be misremembering the number of Japanese planes, but I know it wasn't a lot. Between then and, right after the end of World War II, when you start to get into, the jet propulsion and the guided missiles, you never have this moment in history again. You know, this moment of, you know, blind man's bluff groping around in the dark when radar was in its infancy, and you know, you were trying to use the carriers to project the air power along with the land-based air, which, by the way, was even more important, as any critical study of the Pacific Theater will tell you. But it's just interesting in such a tight little window of just a few short years. You know, this moment existed and then it was gone. Because once you had guided missiles and you had all the radar systems and stuff like that, it completely changed the nature of carrier warfare. You never will probably have ever again anything that was like in 1942, especially. You know, so really, to me, those 4 carrier battles of 1942, the Coral Sea, Midway, Eastern Solomons, and Santa Cruz, that to me is the most interesting and, quite frankly, the heaviest part I study of the Pacific Theater of World War II. Because it's just fascinating. I just find it endlessly fascinating. And I honestly, I'm not sure exactly why. It's kind of an intuitive thing. You know, I'm just kind of drawn to it. Just like I'm kind of drawn to the Eastern Front. It just fascinates me to no end. So, if you are into carrier warfare as much as I am, I would highly recommend tracking down this game. Now, the tricky part of this can be it's not a cheap game. However, I do believe there's a version available on iPads and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I'm not a very big computer guy. You know, I can handle my smartphone. I can handle my laptop to handle the internet and stuff. And as you can tell by these videos, I don't do a whole lot of editing or anything. This is very raw because, quite frankly, that's the limit of my knowledge. And, you know, I just want to have fun with it and also present it to you kind of stream of consciousness, William Faulkner style, if you will. Anyway, so it does exist that way, but if you want the actual board game version, it is a little pricey. I would recommend trying to maybe trade on Board Game Geek. Might be a good strategy to do. But it is worth it. If you like Pacific Warfare, and again, I've played Flat Top, I've played CV, I've played the Smithsonian games, I've played the Great War at Sea games from Avalanche Press. Sorry. I'm not a big fan of Avalanche Press. If you look at my comments on Board Game Geek, you can see that. This is by far, to me, the best simulation all around of it. Now, I will say I enjoy Fires of Midway a lot too, but that is a much simpler stripped down version, and that one is a little more fun and less realistic than this one is. But again, if you're into carrier warfare, it's worth taking the time to do Fires of Midway. And if you're interested, you can see I've done some previous videos on Fires of Midway earlier on when I was starting up this Bare Bones Wargaming channel. So, bottom line, this for me is a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. 5 stars, whatever rating scale you want to use, it's the top of the scale. It is always an epically good time, and the system never plays the same twice. It generates surprises. It is just so much fun. It's just kind of crazy how much fun it is. So, alright, next time, I'm not sure. Finally, I got my shipping notice from GMT. My games will be here next Thursday, July the 5th, almost a month after they started shipping. So, you know, for what it's worth, that's where I'm at with that. I finally got a shipping notification today. So I think actually what I might do, let me just show you here, because I'm sure some of you are familiar with this and some of you are not, but I've been looking for a game to do basically climbing the ladder, which I mentioned, I can't remember if it was last episode or the episode before, but whenever I mentioned it, basically that latter half of the Solomon's campaign, the advancement toward Rabaul. And this game here, Mark Herman won Pacific War from, let me pop this up a little bit, from the 1980s, you know, before he did Empire of the Sun, which I've played, and it's a good system, it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't care for how the system plays. But this, I'll be curious to see how this goes. And this is nice. This is kind of like Carrier and Squad Leader, because it's got program things. You start with engagement scenarios, which is just a battle, like the first one's just a Pearl Harbor strike. Then you move up to battle scenarios. One of them is the Relief of Wake, which was done toward the beginning of the whole war, when we were trying to get reinforcements to Wake Island before it fell. So I'm kind of very curious to try that and see what that's like. And then eventually in there's one about basically climbing the ladder. So So I think that's where I'm going to go next. And then after that, more than likely, I'm probably going to move to Hitler's Reich, because I've been looking forward to that for quite a while. So, hope you enjoyed all this stuff on Carrier. Again, there is more to it, you know, but don't feel daunted by it, because the rulebook is step by step. It takes you through a set of rules, and it gives you a scenario. It does that, just real quick here. It does that, let me see how many times it actually, how many basic scenarios are. I think there might be 8 altogether. Basic scenarios, before you get into the last chunk of rules, there's 6, it looks like. So there's 6 building block scenarios, which will eventually take you up to the whole system, which is totally cool. So, alright. So, thanks for watching. This has been Tim Korchnoi from Bare Bones Wargaming, saying I'll see you next time. And probably the next time that I see you, I'll be the Japanese raiding Pearl Harbor, because I'll probably show you 1 or 2 of those battle scenarios, or engagement scenarios, and then move on to a battle scenario or 2 of Pacific War, to give you a feel of that game as well. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.